going through that right now, and, you know, we've got a group that, you know, a lot of guys that's on the famous list that you get, you know, just see how the week goes. And a lot of them were doing stuff today, everyone. But, you know, today's a different type of practice than tomorrow. And I think that you have to, you know, guys have to step up, and opportunities come their way, and you know, other players and other starters got to carry a little bit different load. And so I think that you know, you try to spread it out, but you know, when a guy is banged up, then other guys get opportunities, and that's where if you can get, you know, contributions from those others. I thought it was big last week. You know, Tyler Johnson, you know, comes up with a big play, and you know, I thought Garrett Groshek came in and gave us some juice. I think KP's been doing a nice job coming in. So everyone's got to own it, and that's why it takes a team. And you know, we're probably no different than any other football team in the country. Well, I think it comes down to, and even when you talk about offensive, defensive, any consistency, it's execution. So it's consistency in the execution, and you know, it can be. If you take a look at the last game, you know, you got 2 drops on 3rd down. That changes your drives, and you know, defensively, you know, are we containing when we need to contain? Or, you know, all the. So I think it's just going back, and I think the focus has to be on how do you play better football, and better football leads to more consistency. I think it's changed considerably, and I think if you look at, you know, Michael Dieter and Bo Benchwell, who were on that, and you just think of the growth that they've had. I guess you're thinking Michael's playing another position, you know, but I think that there's, I think their approach, understanding of the game changes, and I think that they've done a nice job of kind of setting the tone for the younger players. You know, I think that David Edwards is, 2 years ago, David Edwards was, I think, still at tight end, you know, and I think he's now getting comfortable with playing the position, and I think it's certainly the playing part, but then it's the how to prepare for and what to do and how to counteract different things that you're getting, and so I think, you know, they've been with Rudy now that much longer, and I think that they're growing and with age and experience, and I think that helps us overall, and I think that can then give a guy like Tyler Biadasz, you know, kind of can fast track him a little bit, because they're with him, and this is how you got to approach it. They can pass it on. So I think I've liked the work they've put in. You appreciate that, and I think it's, you know, they're more consistent, and I think we're a better line than we were 2 years ago. Well, certainly, you know, we were excited when Garrett chose to come here, and at that time, you saw a guy with the ball in his hands all the time, and what he was going to be when he got here, weren't sure, right? We knew he was a good football player, and you know, I think from the time he came in, and he's always been a worker. And then this spring, when he switched over running back, you know, he did things in spring ball that you felt like, okay, this is a good spot for him. And then he just continues to work, and when he gets opportunity, he makes the most of it, and he takes coaching, and therefore I think he continues to improve. I thought he's brought a ton of value, and you know, KP brings energy, and he's been good, and as he's had plays come his way and made them, I think that gives him confidence, which helps you in your growth, and so I think, I don't know how long it took. You know, I think everyone's still, I mean, certainly in game shape, you know, physically, and he did a good job of, you know, working back through that, but you know, it certainly takes time to get the timing down and going, but it was, I don't know exactly. I think that's, you know, I think when you have a good defense, or what looks to be a good defense, is it sound. You know, that they don't give you anything, and I see that in this defense. And then you watch them, are they playing fast? You know, are they playing physical? to me, that means that the players understand what they're doing, they trust what they're doing, and they go play fast. And those are the things that you see from their defense. You know, a good defense doesn't give you anything, you've got to go earn it. And that's where I think that when you put on the tape, you see that you watch and say that's a really good defense. Absolutely, I think it impacts it, and yet, you know, I've always been, you know, and I think Coach Alvarez feels the same way. When we've played, you want to play a lot of teams, and I'm proud of, you know, the first game I was here, we played at Alabama, and, you know, last year we opened up with LSU, and you knew when we were playing those, like, these are, I remember talking to the kids about, these are really neat opportunities. They don't come around all the time. And so therefore you want to appreciate that and enjoy it and be into it. And then, you know, with the conference, with the 9 games, you know, obviously there's one less non-conference that you can schedule. And so every year you look at the schedule and you appreciate what you have, and you want to make sure your team makes the most of it. And I've always felt that we've tried to do a good job of challenging ourselves with it, and you want players to appreciate the opportunities that you get.
Are those intersectional type games, big intersectional type games that you played with LSU and Alabama, getting harder to schedule?
I think they are. You know, I think everyone sees the value in them, and so when you get them, you're really, I think your players love them, and you know, that's when you can play someone of, you know, high caliber, those are great opportunities because they're hard, they're challenges, and so I think a lot of people want to be in those games, and that's why you're thankful when you are a part of them. I think that, you know, this team, it's kind of fun, you know, as you go through the season. I think there's been games before we felt challenged, and I think this one's a little bit different than any we've had, you know, whether it's the physical size, and then I think you add the scheme part to it, and I think, you know, I think they do a great job in the slots, you know, so I think that across the board, you know, this may present as big a challenge as we have with the style of their offense and their ability to run the football, and not just, I mean, they commit to that. You've got to play really sound defense, and certainly it will be a challenge for our guys. I know they're looking forward to it because they know it's going to be a challenge.